All right. All right. Here we go. Good evening, Model 3 dude. Oh, what's up, gentlemen and ladies, gentlemen and lady people, folks, friends, countrymen, lend me your ear. So we're back again. Let's see. What do we have tonight? We have Inter-Grifter war. We have the Inter-Grifter War, the Great Inter-Grifter War of 2023. Living, real-time examples of overhead supply. And we have the FUD stopped. FUD stopped from Carlos. Carlos and his, what was that? Shoot. Acciones y bonos. Ugh, forgive me. Forgive me. So let's start with this intergrifter war, conflagration. You know what? Shit show. That's probably what it is. So we have CSI here in 1080p HD. Boy, that is the potatoiest HD I've ever seen. But anyway, here we go.
What's up, everybody? It's the Common Sense Investor coming at you with another video. In this video, look, people, I'm over here minding my own business over on my other YouTube channels, all right? And I check back into Discord, see what's going on, and my notifications and shit. And I get a message.
Boss, he checks those? I don't check those.
And I said, Boss Blunt's talking shit about me? And they said, yeah. I said, well, what's he saying? And they sent me the tweet. And the tweet said this: everything Common Sense Investor said in that video is wrong. The guy's either being paid to tell lies or he isn't the sharpest tool in the shed. All right. Now, see, here's where you fucked up, Marcel. I think that's how you say it. God, please don't be as mad as Morantz when I misspelled his. But here's where you fucked up, Boss Blunts. You tweeted that and all your people saw that. And I'm not offended by that, but what's going to happen is now all your people are going to see my response and they're going to see that you're being exposed, bitch. So you should have left this shit and me alone. All right, so let's start with the first thing. Am I being paid to tell lies?
Hell no, he's not. No, of course not. None of us are.
And offered money. Yes.
What?
Yes. And it was in such a way that...
No way. Are you kidding me? God damn. What am I... What? What? No. CSI, not for your meth, for whatever, your drug. God damn.
They
okay.
did not get in trouble for offering it to me, and
they
did not get in trouble for taking it. All right. So yes, I was offered
probably a sponsorship from Weeble.
When you come from my background, money don't mean a motherfucking thing to you. All right. I spent
because you have so much
years in an 8x6 cinder block room. I had no light.
I think they call that jail.
In that Angola, there was no light in that room, all right, except when they opened that hatch to give you your fucking food. And when I came out of there and I put my feet on grass again and I wiggled my toes and I'm like, fuck yeah. One day, each day gets better. That's my philosophy, all right. I don't need money to do that because I didn't have money then and I made it through it. So I'll make it through the rest of my life without it. I don't need money as a bribe. I'm creating other
2 years.
channels. Look
I
over
couldn't
here.
remember what he said. 2 years? He was in prison
I
for
came
two
over here to
years.
YouTube. I'm
Huh.
on my
Okay.
psychology
No
channel.
judging.
But it's got an advertisement right here for
Wait.
my options video.
He has a psychology channel? He has a psychology channel. What? Okay. Uh, boy, where have I been? Out of the loop.
Video
Jeez.
that I just put
I'm going to start a psychology channel.
up. All right. I've got a music channel that I just started. And I've got one other one that I just started. All right. And they're all starting to do real well and they're picking up steam and they're going to be making money real soon. So you can't bribe me, motherfuckers. And they know that. Because when they couldn't bribe me, then it became threats towards me. All right. Through my messages from other YouTubers and everybody else that I needed to change my tone. And I wouldn't do it. I don't give a fuck. Nothing scares me, people. Death don't scare me. So, what the fuck you got on me? But to call me out to say that, well, I must have been paid to tell these lies. All right? Notice what he said. Calls them lies. And he said that everything in that video was wrong. And he was full of shit. He knows I'm right. Everything in that video is not wrong. He disagrees with my last part. But he's got to say the whole thing is wrong in order to discredit the last part. It's irrelevant. Watch my video, you'll understand on why I'm voting no. But am I the sharpest tool in the shed? No, I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. But let me tell you something, I'm a whole lot sharper than a lot of other motherfuckers, okay? Because there was a time when I started this play that I had forgot who I was. But during this play, it has woke me up and shaken me and brought me back to who I am. That's why y'all don't see me drinking as much as you see me drinking anymore. But I do smoke a lot of weed.
Hey,
but I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer. But I knew when Trey and them was bullshitting us about the buy button, and that's when I went live and I told everybody, stop listening to these assholes. They're lying to us. And that's when I became popular. Because
I miss Trey. I'll be honest, I miss Trey.
Because I know you're going to try to comment, and I'm just going to
He was so easy to bust on everything.
That is one of the worst motherfuckers on my channel. You can imagine, people. But I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer. I had to go learn how to read these fucking financials, and I had to go learn how to read these fucking SEC reports. And I had to find out what was copy and paste and what was new shit, because we could not rely on you motherfuckers.
Gold, pure gold.
Anymore. So a couple of us had to step up and start doing our own DD.
But not gold teeth.
And finding out the truth. That's what's going on. Now, I do everything within my power to continue to encourage myself and to keep moving forward, even in this play. And I look for every opportunity that can give me hope to keep me going one more day in this fucking play. That's who I am. And when I get that hope, I want to share that hope. But then when some things have to be addressed, like a 10-for-1 reverse stock split on APE at the same time as AMC, no, it cannot happen. It will kill everything.
It will. It will.
They're so full of shit. People, listen to me. Who would buy AMC, which I think it's at $5 or $6 now? I don't even know. But because I don't care. I'll know
Amen.
when the motherfucker goes up and does what it's supposed to do. My phone will be buzzing. I quit looking at the charts. I don't care. All right? I'm doing other things while I'm waiting on this shit. But the 10-for-1 reverse stock split on APE, people, first off, they took half the money to create the ape. Now they want to, after they drove it down, they want to take 9 of your shares of ape. They're going to make it $20 a share, all right? But then when it gets pushed back down to $10 a share, look how much more money we're going to be out of.
You're
So
not
you have to be warned that these kind of things are happening, but they can't tell you that.
How
Boss
how
Lawrence.
how does he believe that they are taking money from you? How? Why? Okay. Yeah, Trey is doing fine with all the super chat money he made scamming the apes. Plus, let's not forget his massive options payout that he didn't tell us about. He did not tell anybody about it. Certainly not at the time. And the fact that people found out on Benzinga, Benzinga, Benzinga. At least that's how I found out. That's how a lot of people found. I think that's how everybody found out. He said, "I made $1 million." Yep, I made $1 million. Uh, and you know, and then and he still never addressed it. He still never addressed it. And then sometime, I think it was about a year ago, maybe ish, he had that video where he went around and supposedly gave out $10,000 tips to waitresses and servers and, random baristas and shit. Like as if to say that money doesn't matter to him or that he's giving back or something. And I thought it was incredibly disrespectful and in poor taste. But um, yeah. So and and then he's just gone downhill since then in terms of whatever he was doing. But yeah, whatever. Good riddance. I made $1 million. I made $1 million. Yeah. Yep.
Why? They gotta keep telling you, you're gonna be so fucking rich due to executive orders. That didn't happen. Due to
yeah.
China Evergrande, which didn't happen.
And yeah. Remember when Boss was so excited about Evergrande getting delisted or whatever, halted or whatever it was. It was fake. It wasn't, I mean, it actually was halted trading, but it was because of news, because of corporate actions or something. It wasn't delisted. It wasn't, you know, God, I've Boss Blunts, um, yeah, caught him in so many lies. Executive order, Chinese defensive stocks. We're gonna be so freaking
I
rich.
can go on and on and on.
Dr. Marco Metzler. God, we're
Your
Jesus.
only mantra and only hope to stay alive on YouTube, motherfucker, is new people coming in that hear you say they gonna be rich and they
Ponzi scheme.
start following you. But your older people, they moved on from you, dude. Because everything you try, we're gonna be so rich because of this. We're gonna be so rich because of that. We're gonna be so rich. We're gonna be so rich. And the only one getting rich is you. You make a whole lot. I make a good bit, but you make a whole lot more than me on YouTube. And that's my motherfucking business. I provide a service for you, and if you watch
Oh
this
God,
video,
really?
you didn't pay nothing for it. So the fuck you get mad if somebody gets paid on YouTube?
Are you serious?
When you're hustling on YouTube, that's a different story. And that's what you see over there on his channel right now. Go look and see how many videos he's put out versus how many
It's pretty good.
he's put out. All right? Why? Because YouTube has notified us shorts will start paying money, start building up your momentum on your shorts because the shorts are going to start paying money. So I'm going to get paid for doing a 15 or 30 second short versus an 8-minute video. That's the hustle he's into. That's the man y'all are trying to trust. I'm just a country bumpkin, natty ice. I hear it all. Good deal. But the point is this: I'm a good-hearted motherfucker. I have my best interests and your best interests in mind. I only share with you what I go look for and find, and I share that with you. Now, we have to tell you now that we're nothing but entertainers, all right? Which I am, just an entertainer on YouTube, all right? Or else I can get in trouble with the police. So there you go. Marcel, or whatever your name is, Boss Blunts, yeah, Marcel.
Butcher of
Stay in your lane,
portfolios. That's
bitch.
what I call him.
See you in the next video. Love y'all. Be blessed.
Okay. When pounce. So, oh yeah, it was your money he was tipping. Boy, that's but it's Thursday, so confused. Did I put the wrong day in the stream? No. Oh, yeah, I put the right day. Lynn, you're always confused. Hi. Um, let's see. So next we have no, no. We have Oliver's Papa. Oliver's Papa. And I like this guy. We like this guy here. He's a good guy. Let's see what he's got to say. The lunacy of AMC Assassin, ass fixation of AMC Bigums, and softness of Triple X Marine. Softness. For good reason. Okay. Okay, I'll take that. All right.
Balance is like obviously well worshipped in the AMC community. Have 25, I think it's 25, and I think 25,000 followers. Where the hell is the other 4 million people at?
Hi, how you doing? It's Oliver's Papa. Real quick, I've been out of touch lately. Look at me, I'm a mess. I'm a mess. My son has been out of school because of weather, and if you've ever broken an autistic child's routine, then you know the fun that is. It's a blast. Anyway, I haven't been around. I have a couple videos I've been working on. But let me, do you hear what I'm listening to right now?
I'm just trying to figure it all out.
Okay, that's the Marine. And he is complaining about views, how people get views.
Wait, who was it?
That's the Marine.
I'm just trying to figure it all out.
Okay, that's the Marine.
The Marine. Okay.
And he is complaining about views, how people get views. How does so-and-so get so many views? And I'm on, my name is on the mouths of many now. And I mean, some real narcissistic,
Yeah.
self type of stuff. Now, what was it? A few days ago, he had a video, and there were some people in the comments that were trashing, them having gone and doing the demonstration and all of that. And I tried to offer a nice positive thing, because YouTube before AMC was for me about music and other forms of entertainment and documentaries. I mean, you never saw me get nasty in the comment section. It wasn't the place for it. Not until AMC came along, and then all this different friction and when you make a bad investment, all kinds of shit can go wrong. Your nerves get all fucked up, and it's not good. This man is becoming I don't know enough about psychology to make like a clear diagnosis, but there's something definitely. I mean,
we're going to talk about that in a minute.
And my comment to him the other day was, hey, you went out there and exercised one of your God-given rights as an American to peacefully assemble. I mean, why would I sneer at that? Good for you. Well, I think I might have to retract that statement, because his behavior is abhorrent. Why does so-and-so have so many views, and how do I get those views? And it's all about views and clicks now. And dude, you don't understand that it's run on a fucking algorithm? I mean, seriously, what? Okay. Here's the thing. What was it, last night or yesterday? I was half asleep, right? I turned on the computer, and fucking Morantz is standing back, like away from it. I don't know where he filmed this shit at. Okay. In the fucking shadows. This guy is standing in the fucking dark. Okay, maybe it was the settings on the computer. It could be. I could be crazy. But I am saying he was like standing back in the shadows. Let me see if I can fucking recreate this. I should have done this last night. No, nowhere near. He was like standing way back. And he was talking real low. It's like he didn't want to wake up his wife or somebody. He's like, I'm
Jesus.
watching, and I saw this today. And the guy's a fucking assassin. I'm convinced he's some kind of an assassin, because I was sitting there like, what the fuck? Is this dude really standing in the dark talking to one of these guys? That's what he was doing. And then, my next time I check in, he is ripping this guy a new asshole. I hate to see that. I hate to see brothers in arms fighting. I mean, I know not everybody that's in the military can get along with each other, but and I've said this before, I have a sentimental thing about the military and people who serve and whatnot. I mean, even though I think our government sucks, all shapes and forms, both sides. Let's just get that out of the fucking way. I don't like to. I don't know. It's just the way I was raised, I guess. I like to see these guys get along, but I think that this guy needs some fucking help. He's coming apart. He's really coming. My name is on the mouth. I mean, and he's serious. He's like getting his ego is getting pumped up over this. He's talking about, he's walking down the stairs. The fucking sun is out shining, right? And he's like, "Yeah, farm life. We get up early, motherfucker. I see the sun up, so you ain't up that early. Farmers get up at 4:30 in the morning. There's no fucking sun out there. Where is he at? That is the fucking sun is out, and he says it's early." It's like, did the core become soft? And my Marine friends, don't fuck with me on this. I'm asking a legitimate question between Al from Boston and this guy. What is early? What is a crime? What is an injury? What the fuck happened to you guys? These are the guys that fucking stand on the wall at night. This fucking dude. Listen, AMC was a bad investment. I made a joke video yesterday where I was throwing out the trash. I'm working wherever I can at the moment, because I only get 3 hours in the morning and I get 3 hours in the afternoon, and I have to pick basically, which ones I can work while my son's gone.
Hello, welcome.
Where we can have like just regular daycare or babysitters for that matter, and when we do get to a babysitter place or daycare, like in the summer, perhaps, that's a discussion that his mother will have to be involved in with me, and I'll have to do a shit ton in the 70s. I'm not fucking dumb, but I thought of it. But I was pointing out that I wouldn't be, you don't complain when you make a bad bet. If you bet that,
Yep.
I don't know, Philadelphia beats Kansas City, and Philadelphia doesn't beat Kansas City, then you pay your debt. You pay your fucking debt, or some guy in silk stockings is gonna be fucking paying you a visit, and he's gonna want to collect that. That's just normal. It's just to be expected. And these guys are grown men, fucking crying about their my family, my investment. What are you, some kind of gambling degenerate?
Yes.
You didn't know that.
They are.
Okay, well, if I put 1,000 in here and I put 2,000 here, okay, if I lost that, then the baby still eats, food still gets put on the table, mortgage gets paid, what the fuck ever, right? What the fuck ever. I'm a firm believer that the whole idea of gatekeeping the financial world, like trading and things like that, I always thought that was kind of a shitty deal, that it was off limits to certain demographics, right? But anybody, any American, anybody should be able to invest if they want to in a company. What I don't agree with is that all of a sudden this culture of you show me what you have. What do you have? When I was growing up, investments, banking, religion, politics, these were fucking
Personal. none of your
you never asked
business.
a man how much money he made.
That's why I don't
How much did you make an hour?
talk about.
I remember once somebody said something to my
Remember when Teddy Zane got all over my ass and he said something like, "He's sitting there criticizing blah blah blah. When what has he done? What does he what does he trade? Show us your positions." No, I don't want to influence people, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I don't want people to do what I'm doing. They would have lost a lot of money. First of all, they already have, so they wouldn't have wanted to do what I was doing recently. But anyway, Scott fucking Allen. Scott fucking Allen. Yeah. Yep. Anyway,
the place I was working at across from the warehouse, they fucking
okay.
pray to, or
All right.
insight that can be the slightest bit controversial. You won't see anything, sick.
I think we got the gist here.
I'm just saying the truth, and I know a little bit about police work. I know a little bit about investigations, and I'm saying I would fucking love that. The guy has a talent, Some guys just do. Some guys are they're so square and so straight. Their fucking lines are like this. Never did this, never did this, never did this, believes in this, believes in that. Fucking probably, kneels at the end of the bed, prays at the end of the night. The straight fucking shooters, when they're out there and they're on the path, oh man, it's like fucking watching a sculptor. It's like watching somebody paint a masterpiece. When you see a fucking assassin like that, all of the ropes with this guy, he almost had him, and it's kind of a grievance thing. For those who are following any of the autistic stuff,
I don't know.
Board of Education, and they're at. I mean, ass references.
Okay. Let's see what he's got here in his notepad.
A bunch of fucking crazy people. Big AC Bigums the other day. I did a count. Hold on. I did a fucking count.
I love this.
In his last live stream, he talked about asses being pounded, asses being fucked, people getting fisted in their ass. I mean, ass references 46 times.
What?
46 fucking times.
What?
I'm telling you.
Something wrong with that guy.
It's only crazy people who are left in this.
It's the bottom of the barrel. It is the bottom of the barrel, and it is great. It's it just, the shit, it's like it's a never-ending fountain of nonsense. It's a the grift that keeps on giving, or the gift that keeps on grifting, or the grift that keeps on. Anyway, wow. Okay. Let's end on that. Ass, ass, ass fixation of AMC big. Now I get it. Now I get it. Now I get it now. So shifting gears here, because I cannot. I, I'm pretty much guaranteeing that I will by saying this, but I cannot run too late tonight. So we have Charlie, Mr. Fudstop, and he's pivoted. So we're gonna go back to what, 1 year ago, May 4th, 2021. That's not 1 year ago. But this is previously. Let's just say previously. Thanks, Model 3 dude. I'm looking at like 10:30 my time. It's 11 now, so anyway. This is previously. So I always like to go back and look at these older videos too. Done streams where we just go back and look at what were they saying on June 1st, 2021, that kind of thing. But this is from May. Let's see what he says.
All right, guys, we need to talk real quick about AMC. Everyone is freaking out about this news that just came out. And let me tell you why you need to calm down, take a step back, and go back to the basics of buy and hold. So if you're freaking out, there's probably two likely reasons. Number one, you bought call options that expire soon, which you should not have done, because no one knows when this is going to go off. All we know is that there are certain things that have to be taken or that have to be implemented beforehand, such as the DTCC rules.
Oh
Number
yeah,
two,
remember those? The
you don't want to wait
DTCC
any
rules.
longer.
They did so much. And this guy was I was calling him out, not in May of 21, but certainly in July and August and September for that shit. For that shit.
So let me point a few things out.
He
Number
also hyped the reverse repos, which it's like, okay,
one, this could be a life-changing play.
I always say those trillions, that's the apes' Moass money.
At which point, I would be willing personally to wait 5 years. I mean,
There it
I
is.
didn't get into this thinking it was going to happen overnight. This could be a life-changing play. At which point, I would be willing personally to wait 5 years. I mean, I didn't get into this thinking it was going to happen overnight. I mean, the forces we're going up against are immense. This is going to take
Immense.
time. And now, if you were expecting it to squeeze today because the shareholder
Is he
meeting
from
was today,
Texas too?
I'm not sure where you got that information. That's not the case. No one knows when this is going to go off. All we can do is sit and wait and hope that the whales on our side are going to be doing everything
It
they
was
can
less than a month from when he
to
said this,
make these changes happen
when it
and
happened.
do what they need to do and do their part as far as the price action. So if you
Okay.
want calls, yes, don't do that. If you're going to buy a call, buy one that expires next year. Don't buy weekly calls thinking it's going to squeeze week after week. You're going to be throwing money away. And let me tell you again why this is good news. You have to think like the CEO.
Oh,
Your shareholder meeting was today. There could be a number of reasons why you postponed it. Number one, maybe there wasn't enough retail investors who voted, which when you vote in the shareholder meeting, your shares that you own, not calls, your shares that you own, are counted towards the float. Now, what the CEO wants, he wants retail to own the float. And the only way for retail to own the float, which is a lot bigger than GameStop's float, is to buy shares. So, either there's not enough shares being bought, or there's not enough people voting. So, this gives everyone an opportunity not only to buy shares today and have it count towards the vote and they can attend the meeting, but it also gives more people time to average down. It gives the company time to wait for these rules.
average
There's a lot going on,
down.
so-
Average down. Oh, average down. That fantastic strategy that always works so well. Averaging down. Oh, God. Averaging down. Okay.
Just the fact we have to wait a few more months and just the fact that maybe your call options are expiring doesn't make the situation any different. It just means you need to go back to the basics. Buy, hold, wait. So I'm just throwing that out there. This is very good news. I'm very excited about this because that was one of my concerns, honestly, was that I thought with AMC, the float being so big, my worry was that not enough shares would be voted into the float. But now we have another month of people being able to buy
Another
AMC at a much
month
cheaper price.
of
Getting
welfare
counted towards
checks
the float, more
going
time
toward
to inform
AMC.
people how to vote. So this is great. So leave a comment down below if you still feel differently. But guys, I mean, come on, buy, hold, wait. This is gonna pay off. Hang in there.
If they can hold it off for a year so I can lower my tax liability, that would be great. I'm here until I get paid. I wonder if he still is. Remember when people used to say that? Oh, just keep putting it off. I'll pay short-term gains. I'll pay long-term capital gain taxes. Uh-huh. The big thing knowing that AMC is a buy is how many bots and hit pieces they are using to try to get the people to sell. They wouldn't be trying to get people to sell something that is worthless. Never do call options when waiting for a squeeze. The numbers don't lie, only a matter of time. Everyone just relax. The only thing you control is how many shares you buy. Since you control nothing else, there is no reason to freak out every other day. Just relax, buy the dip when you can, and temper your expectations. If you can just be patient, the world is in your hands. I'm actually glad it was pushed back. All of my shares are in transit. I freaked out and bought more. You freaked out and bought more? Bought 5 more shares today. Now I have to wait until payday at the end of the month to get more. Jesus. Or did the CEO make hedges short the hell out of AMC, bringing the price down before we meet at the moon? What do you think? Yeah, you got it there. Uh, just buying the dips every 5 cents, every 0.5 every 0.05 cents AMC drops. 0.05 cents. Really? 5/100ths of a cent. I get more. Yes, option plays at risk, but for me, I am spreading them out. They all expired worthless, I'm sure. AMC is going to file a suit too against all those funds that have been attacking it. Oh, right. Perfect. Love this community. What? I doubled down on AMC after I voted. Should I get more votes now or something? It'll squeeze when it squeezes. Buy, hold, buy some more, keep holding. Not financial advice, but it's a recipe. Blah, blah, blah. Will there be Will there even be movie theaters in 2026? Jesus Christ asked. Look at all this nonsense. Who freaking out? I bought more. Um, we buy and hold, and meanwhile, these guys buy and sell. Buying and selling is how you make money. Apes don't have to worry about capital taxes anymore. True. Shadow stars. Good evening. That's assuming that they even have jobs. Ooh. We say, yeah, we not buying. Well, we smart. Let's see. Okay. So this was previously, right? This is previously. He was willing to hold for 5 years. Squeeze in 5 years, you sound stupid. You sound stupid. So this is how it started. Let's check out how it's going. This is from today, 3 hours ago. Comments are turned off. Comments are turned off. But here it is. AMC and GME, the rise and fall again.
Charlie here. We're going to talk about AMC and GME, the rise and fall again. So obviously the stocks had a very good week this week. Hopefully there was some opportunity for everyone to make some money out there. Obviously there was to the upside. I personally was patient and waited till today to enter into the puts for both of these tickers because the only reason these stocks ran in the first place this week is due to the bullish or, quote, bullish macroeconomic news that came out of the FOMC on Wednesday. And of course, the fact that we were in a short settlement window and both of these tickers did have a decent amount of short interest going into this week.
Wait, what did he say? What did I'm sorry, I missed that. I was responding to a text message.
Ran in the first place this week is due to the bullish, or quote bullish, macroeconomic news that came out of the FOMC on
The quote bullish news that came out of the FOMC.
Wednesday.
Oh,
And
okay.
of course,
Yesterday.
the fact that we were in a short settlement window, and both of these tickers did have a decent amount of short interest going into this week, that would allow for a nice upsized movement, which is exactly
So short covering rally. That's what he's saying.
what happened.
I don't know why he doesn't just say
Now,
that,
the problem with
because he has comments turned off anyway. I don't know why he just doesn't say that. But look, it got 44 upvotes and 0 downvotes. 700 views.
this is that this is the part where everyone wants to keep the charade going. Everyone wants to claim that there's billions and billions of naked shorts, that there's synthetics being traded back and
No evidence for any of that.
forth every day, that we own the float, which none synthetics being traded back and forth every day, that we own the float, which none of the data out there that's clearly available to the public represents any of these.
But the problem is, though, Char, you got to remember what Donahue George says. Like I tell you all every day, the data they give us is false, designed to confuse the retail investors. How's my Donnie? Is that decent? Don't make any decisions based on anything I say in this video. Not not financial advice, for education and entertainment purposes only. The data is false. It's false data. They're going to take 90% of our shares. But yeah. So a lot of people, it seems like a lot of people believe that kind of stuff. Charlie doesn't, I guess. Now, again, for now. But okay.
These claims as being true.
These bad actors doing the malfeasance, these bad actors, criminal hedge funds, short sellers, 1%ers, man.
So we're going to just discuss a few things. And again, if you can't handle some of these blatant facts being presented here, then markets probably aren't for you. Because if you haven't noticed, hard-earned money is involved here. And you could be 15 or 16 years old, of course, using someone else's money doing this. But I would hope most people are using their own capital to trade with. And if that's the case, you probably want to put it in a place, or at least keep it away from a place that operates off of virtue signaling and just purely inaccurate information. So markets don't operate off and design.
So don't go into the market.
Markets work a very specific way, and all of the information you need to learn about markets is readily available to you online. It's all about.
Seems like an oversimplification, though.
First, let's get into AMC. So this is the era of the OG apes. This is when most people started to hear about AMC and got into AMC, way back in late 2020 and early January of 2021. This is when the very beginning of all this basically started. It's when all the YouTubers came out of the woodwork that were suddenly market experts all of a sudden. But this is basically the beginning. Then you had the new age apes who came into the scene after the mid of the year run, shorts covering. That was the cause of this run.
Hopefully he shows GameStop too.
And we had a bunch of people come in then because, of course, Wall Street and the news media and the YouTubers helped lure in a bunch of new people after the run, because this wasn't good enough. They were saying that it's going to go to 500, 1,000, 2,000, which obviously that will never happen. Now, again, I myself also believed in everything in here that I'm talking about. The point in time where I stopped buying all this nonsense was right here. Right here. Around May 4th of 2021, when Aron came out and basically postponed.
We just watched his video.
Actually did
from May 4th.
People to account for the entire float. But instead, what he chose to do was postpone that meeting, throw out the votes, which basically took out 280 million or so votes from February, when all of the OG apes were accumulating for the next run, yeah, he decided to throw those out and postpone the meeting for the sole purpose of giving Wall Street a way out, because he would not have done that, this would have came sooner and it would have
Uh,
I'll give you that.
okay, we just watched his video from May 4th, 2021, and that is not what he said. I repeat, we just watched his video from May 4th, 2021 that he's referring to. In today's video, we watched that video immediately preceding watching the current video here. Uh, and that's not what he said. That's not what he said at all. So, yeah, I don't know if I don't know if he has trouble recalling or if he's been lying so much that he doesn't remember what he said. Because, of course, if you tell the truth, you never have to remember anything. But if you lie, you do. Or if, gaslighting or whatever. But no, that's not what he said. He was excited about it. He thought he was happy about it. He said it's a good thing, a good thing. So, man, I mean, this is, I don't want to say it's a first, but I don't recall too many examples of debunking someone's own words from previously. I mean, I guess it was almost 2 years ago, so it's a long time, and especially in these times. But anyway, wow, okay, no, he he can't even accurately represent his own previous thoughts and videos.
But the fact that he gave them a way out allowed them to delay it a few more months. And then we saw a giant rocket, at which point new apes were lured in to this whole fiasco. Since then, the price has done nothing but trend down overall, with some nice playable opportunities in the middle. And I've played basically every single one of these. But again, you can't hold these things as more than what they are. They're stock tickers. If you cared about the company as much as you say you do, you wouldn't be buying the stock as much as you do. You would buy the actual products that they are selling. Now, this is Generation 2 apes. The only other wave of influx of apes that I saw from data metrics online and Reddit and things like that came during the middle of 2022, right after March, in the beginning, basically the end of March of 2022. And, again, since then, it's done nothing but trend down. Now, the question is, why is that? Is it because magic? Is it because shorts are naked shorting billions and billions of shares? No,
No.
because there's no evidence of that. There's only claims.
What? Wow. Wow. All right. Okay. All right.
Inaccurate videos that are tricking people into believing this stuff. Now,
So he basically just validated what we've been saying for nearly 2 years. No evidence, only allegations and speculation. Okay, but I mean, I'm I'm not saying I'm a fan, but that's that's good. He's turning over a new leaf.
problem with AMC and why the price has done nothing but go down. Stock dilution from Aron. Call it what
Well, but Rico said every time that they added shares, the price went up. So what gives?
want, say what it is or however you feel about it, but at the end of the day, what it actually is, verified by corroborating evidence and just basic elementary understanding of stock markets, he's diluted the stock. And he started doing it in early January, late December 2020 and 2021.
Right.
So again, he's been diluting the whole time. We started at January 22nd, 2021, 339 million. From there, Less than 2 weeks later, we're up to 377.83. Then, a couple months later, we're up to
And
450.
you're already up almost to the top.
Come June, we're up to 501 million. And by the end of 2022, of course, we're sitting where we are now, around 516 or so.
Yeah, but that doesn't explain. I mean, this is a weak point because June 2nd has 500 million shares. What is the price? I mean, what is the price differential from June 2nd to November 8th? There were only 15 million shares added. That is not going to account for the massive drop in price. So this is a really weak point as far as I'm concerned.
That's a pretty big increase of shares outstanding. Then on top of that,
it is, but
Ape into the mix, which are the preferred shared spinoff, which doesn't help the situation whatsoever. Now, again, there's people on Twitter that are claiming to say that dilution is not the problem. And these people also claim to have 25 years of experience. If that were
problem,
true,
I mean,
first of all, they wouldn't even be.
But the thing is, it's, yeah, I guess if you're looking at this only as this opportunity, whatever, then it was. But I mean, why did they do this? What's the point? What was the point? I mean, obviously it was to raise capital for the company because at the end of the day, that's what it's about. Not some silly group of kids who think that they know how to trick Wall Street and beat Wall Street and get hedge funds to, just give up their capital. So I mean, yes, but also no. I mean, maybe he'll mention this, but it's like it's not really a problem. It's only a problem if you are stupid and retarded, basically,
Interacting with people
and you bought into the hype.
Twitter that are buying and holding a stock purely based on sentiment value alone, and how much are other people doing it, because that's not how stock markets operate. And people with that much experience would know this.
Yeah, it is.
So they're either purposely preying on naive.
It absolutely does in short-term time frames. It absolutely does.
People in the stock market to get them to believe this stuff even more because they come from an appeal.
I mean,
to authority.
and not just among retail investors. It absolutely goes from institutional and mainstream media narratives down. But he's like almost, it's weird because he's trying to be evidence-based and he is being evidence-based, but he's also taking, I don't want to say too far, but there are some subjective elements. There are some, because human beings are irrational. Markets are irrational. Markets can be random. They can be irrational. They can be confusing, and it can be hard. See, I don't believe that anybody knows why. I don't believe that you can say why. You can speculate and you can maybe assign a probability, but that's one of my biggest pet peeves about the financial media is they tell you why things happen. The Dow jumped 400 points today on positive, as investors digested positive economic news. Okay, maybe, but maybe not. I mean, that happened this morning. The rally happened later. These types of things, it just doesn't necessarily correlate. But in order to sell a product, in order to sell, quote unquote newspapers, um, things have to be simplified and dumbed down so that even people like Marant's rants can understand them. So, you know, take that for what you will. But anyway, it's a bit, it's a bit disingenuous.
Like they go find basically a stock photo online of some dude in a suit, throw it on their profile picture, and call themselves Peter R. Han. I mean, how hard would that be to do? And then make claims all day, block anybody that disagrees with them,
Yeah.
and go down the road. And
keep tricking the apes, for their own convenience. That's not reality, folks. And I think anyone with half a brain would understand that, unless you're under, 18, just maybe you're still young,
No.
get it. But hopefully anybody that's outside of their
Or
minds,
or if you overinvested initially and you need the price to go up a lot. You've overinvested by a lot, and can Adam Aaron do something? Basically, what I'm getting at is it's hard to, I mean, not saying that I would do the same thing, but anyway.
house or basement would understand that this is not how reality operates in this environment. So the reason AMC has done, the reason AMC has nothing done, the reason it's done nothing but decline since the shorts covered, and I know that stings a lot of you just hearing that, but that's what happened, and we're about to show you exactly why. It's because they're not making money. They are in a massive hole, and they're slowly working their way out, but they have a long way to go. And honestly, the approach Adam Aron's taking by being this puppet showman on Twitter is kind of disgusting, because in reality, what is he actually doing for the company? Hoping that the next movie that comes out is a big hit? That doesn't sound like a good plan. But, I mean, they're on the right track, but there's a long way to go. The stock is not worth what everyone on Twitter thinks it's worth, because no one understands basic fundamental analysis of stocks, because no one's taking the time to learn, because everyone thinks it's a kumbaya. We're all going to get rich by not doing anything but jerking each other off online. Come on, that's not reality. Now, no amount of hype, no amount of hate, no amount of anger will change the face. See, I mean, I'm so retarded, I can't even edit these videos properly, but do I care? No, because I feel like the point of these and the message is that a lot of you get mad because you hear things about people, or you assume things, but you're not hearing the overall message. I'm not trying to shit on anybody's parade. I'm just speaking facts here. And the fact that you're being taken advantage of by multiple avenues. You're literally a walking billboard for AMC. And what's in it for you? To sit here online with a bunch of other people who have no idea what's going on, because no one's taking the time to ask questions. That's all I'm trying to say. And nothing's going to change the fact, nothing, no amount of emotion or anger is going to change the fact that short squeezes, by definition, refers to the act of short sellers buying back shares they previously sold short in order to close their short positions. The following are some telltale signs of shorts covering. Number 1, price spike. When shorts begin to cover, the demand for a stock can increase, obviously, causing the price to spike upwards. Increased volume. Obviously, if you have shorts covering.
Okay, now I'm not arguing that this wasn't a short squeeze, but I'm simply looking at what he's saying, which, some people don't understand. I don't think they don't really understand the nature of criticism, because they're probably uneducated. But that's neither here nor there. But I mean, it's certainly a legitimate thing. Anyway, somebody's got to look at it and see what the hell they're talking about. But earlier he said that the price was going down because he talked about all this dilution, and he said that the dilution, he used June 1st or whatever, early June. He used a date in June 2nd, as one of the points, uh, to say the number of shares. Marantz, get the fuck. I mean, you are a piece of shit. Go fuck yourself, okay? Fuck you. Fuck you. Dumbass motherfucker. You are the most annoying motherfucker I have ever fucking seen. Get fucking lost. He said dilution. He used that as a point. Now he's saying short covering. He's saying demand can increase. Okay, yeah. but also there was this dilution. So, it's just, I don't know. I'm confused by this now.
There's going to be a massive influx of volume, decreased short interest.
I mean, seriously, imagine being a fucking GameStop fucking bag holder. Imagine that, first of all. Just imagine how fucking pathetic that would be. First. Second, imagine being so fucking pathetic in your bag holding that you create a channel where you bash one shit stock, and pump another shit stock. Okay, that's number two. Number three, imagine obsessing over somebody. Well, no, number three is not being able to accept criticism or fact checking. And when you are fact checked, which, by the way, everything in the fact checking was 100% true, you are a fucking little boy who can't admit that he was wrong. And then you come into somebody else's channel when they're doing legitimate work, looking at bullshit that's out here, and act like a fucking jackass, and you're 40 fucking years old on top of all of this. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Marantz Rants. Get the fuck out of here. Or not. But I don't fucking get it. You are a fucking idiot. You got to be one of the dumbest motherfuckers on here. And quite honestly, really annoying. More than anything, it's fucking annoying. So anyway, let him be. Nah. It's distracting. It's distracting and annoying. And it's just disingenuous, it's just like, what the fuck? Like, it really is the most pathetic shit. Good morning, millionaires. Yeah, fuck you. You'll never be a fucking millionaire. Oh, Jesus Christ.
I short interest, and then you have.
I mean, that's not what this is. That's not what this channel is for. Obviously, the dude doesn't understand fact checking. He wants to. But see, I have no interest in. I can't even stand to listen to the dude. Like, I can't. I just don't care. You know. It just, like, he's so inconsequential too. It just doesn't matter. Like, in fact, I just let the GME meltdown subreddit make fun of him because they he's very popular there. You're very popular on GME meltdown. You should go check it out. You really should. And then go cry into your pillow.
Short squeeze.
Yeah, that's the last fucking thing that I'm going to say about that piece of shit. That's it. And he's going to be permanently banned from the chat. It's a distraction I don't need and don't want because it's so irrational. It makes no sense. Like, dude was wrong. Dude can't admit he's wrong. He's wrong. He was wrong. So then you act like a fucking child. Like, no. Just no. Okay. Anyway, that's all.
One with two brain cells could assume that after the squeeze was over, and to corroborate the evidence of there being a squeeze, the short interest would have declined. And then number four, a squeeze on top of all this, like if it actually squeezes on top of shorts covering, then the price goes up even further on even more volume, which is a telltale sign of a short squeeze. Well, that's exactly what fucking happened in May of 2021. The price spiked with the volume. The price spiked even further on, more shares than there are outstanding at this point in time. And then it goes even further on even more volume. That is the definition of a short squeeze. Despite what magicians on YouTube and Twitter like to pretend is real, this is reality. Nothing will change that. And by the way, the short interest also decreased by a significant amount following this.
15 million. There's that wonderful
Again,
that wonderful figure of 15 million again, which consequently was the amount of shares that were added between that point and November on his little timeline. So he's trying to make the case this was the squeeze. Which, I mean, we're not saying that it wasn't. It wasn't the move. It wasn't the impulsive move. But was it a true short squeeze? Um, you know, I don't know. I don't know. I do know that there was a significant amount of option activity that definitely contributed to the buying pressure during that period. Um, until the option chain was expanded. It was expanded during that period, and that's really when, I mean, to me, that's a strong. I mean, I don't know if he's going to go into that, but that's a stronger argument because there were only the strike prices only went up to $40 at this point here, and it was as it started coming up that the option chain was expanded, but there were so many of those call options open for the June expirations that then became in the money that it really, and those hedging processes are automatic. They're automatic and they contribute to the buying pressure. That's kind of what we've been seeing in the overall market the last few days, among maybe short covering and some other, and of course, FOMO and idiots buying in thinking that the bear market's over and all this kind of stuff. But the mechanics of options relating to how they can affect the underlying stock really cannot be discounted here at this point in time. So anyway, but there's no question it was a squeeze. Um, but I mean, he's only showing 15 million shares covered. Uh, but also he's looking at a date that's before this and a date that's after this. So, I mean, these are the two dates when short interest was reported by the exchange. So we don't have we don't have granular data except for ortex, which is an estimation. And I think that certainly by this point, they were, I don't want to say gaming ortex, but it, it doesn't really even make sense that the number of shares on loan goes up and down and the utilization stays at 100%. I think that the short hedge funds or short sellers were not necessarily quote unquote returning shares. They were being returned in the sense that they were being bought back, but then instead of being returned to the lending facility, returned to the lender, they were just borrowed again by somebody. They were borrowed, not again, not a chain of borrowing, but they were loaned out. They were loaned out again, essentially. Anyway,
the fact that people argue this is pretty concerning, and they result to violence, hate, name calling, like we're all children.
Tony,
Can't come to the fact and of realization.
how you doing, my friend?
This is simple stuff that they teach in elementary finance. So again, if you can't handle that, the markets probably aren't a good place for you to be spending your time because you're going to be manipulated by people left and right.
I mean, like, I just find this incredibly disingenuous because he showed his evidence here is 15 million shares bought or covered, but he's showing volumes of like 700 million. So, I mean, 15 million out of 766 million is a small percentage. A small percentage, a very small percentage. So, I don't know. I don't know. It's like 2% or something.
Come to the fact of realization that this is simple stuff that they teach in elementary finance, left and right.
Okay.
This on your parade, it's just facts. And anybody in the field would agree that that is the definition of a short squeeze. And that's exactly what we saw happen in May 2021.
There's actually different types of short squeezes. But anyway.
AMC. That's why the price has not gone higher since then. Because Mr. Adam Aron made
Tony,
sure
yeah.
that didn't happen.
I like that you're using the right initial.
Magic in the stock markets. I don't care if 500 people disagree or 1,000 people disagree. It doesn't matter how many people, how many likes or views someone has. If they're wrong, they're wrong. That's why this.
Well, but see, I mean, I disagree with this because, like, for example, what we're seeing now, or narratives, false narratives. I'm not saying that that's magic, but in Benjamin Graham said in the short term, the stock market is a voting machine. In the long term, it's a weighing machine. This is a famous quote. In the short term, it's a popularity contest. In the short term, it's, you know, a popularity contest. It's counting votes. But in the long term, it is going to revert back to fundamentals. So that really is applicable here too, because this is popularity contest. And people had a lot of, chances, a lot of potential votes in terms of having stimulus money and stuff like that. But in the long run, so this is the voting machine. This is the weighing machine. Fundamentals win out. So, I mean, this is a typical Charlie video. This is a typical Charlie video. He's not completely wrong. He's not completely off base, but it's just not quite right. And it's drastically oversimplified.
The whole social media system is broken because it's all a popularity contest. It doesn't matter if what one dude said with 5 views, because the dude with 40,000 views has more views. So whatever he says must be right. No, that's not how it works. Now let's talk about GME. And honestly, AMC folks have
here we go.
Going for them than GME. GME people.
Boom. Yeah. Boom. There you go. We've been saying this for a while here. At least AMC has something that people want. Not something that people need, but something that people want. Something that probably won't ever really go away. Even though there are other forms, other modes of exhibition that you can use, like streaming or just watching it on your phone, but which is, I suppose, is streaming or downloading a torrent or something, but that's always been. But what does GameStop have? You know, their whole model is whack at this point. Collectibles, NFTs, like, congratulations for being late. This is exactly what we've been saying.
People are just lost.
So we agree with this.
I'm honestly thinking that they're just majority bots, but let's get into it. So obviously the shorts covered in January of 2021 in GME's case, in part, not fully, but in part. This is when we had, literally a billion volume when the shares outstanding was significantly lower than AMC's at this time. And I mean, again, as
there's
going off of the previous definition,
2 people with they were thinking the same thing. They have ran. I guess that's true. And he's holding. So you can get in at a good price.
And examples of short squeezes, it's the same thing. The same thing, using the same definition because it doesn't change. We had extreme volume. The price spiked. The short interest was at 200% at this time.
So
price
I thought it was 140.
On even more volume. Then it spiked.
The SEC report begs to differ, actually, but whatever.
A couple months later, same thing happened again. We had 2 more subsequent runs where the same thing happened. And then guess what else? the short interest dropped significantly during this period of time. So again, this is the definition of shorts covering.
I mean, yeah, of
Now,
course, because that was, I mean, how for how long were they saying shorts haven't covered? I mean, they were saying that late in 2021. I mean, I'm pretty sure they were saying it in 2022. I don't think many of these influencer clowns are saying that now. I'm sure people believe it who don't understand, who haven't taken the time to learn after 2 years. But I mean, yeah, we've been saying that for a long time because but again, if you believe that all of the data is false and that there's billions of synthetic shares and naked shorts, you're at risk for, falling into these narratives, falling into these traps and basically losing all your money, which is where I think a lot of people probably are right now. And, we've never been in the business of trying to change people's minds or trying to, I guess, really help people in that sense. Now, having said that, by fact checking these guys, the idea is that the people who are interested in differing opinions, looking at other sides of things, trying to be objective, that they, maybe they would it would spur some thinking, and and people can do what they want, but nonetheless, even if 0 people do that, have done that, will do that, it's still important to fact check these guys. And that's what we've been doing. That's what we've tried to do. Still for oh yeah, right. Phil for real. Phil, I am retarded for real. Still saying shorts have not covered. That's right. That's how could I forget that? He says it at the beginning of every video.
let's just talk about DRS as a bonus, because I honestly don't get this. Everybody claims DRS is going to be the answer to Moass.
He's been against this
You're taking your shares
since
out of the DTC
pretty much the beginning.
having them quote in your name is going to be the key beneficial factor that's going to cause this squeeze. First of all, without even taking into the risks of doing this, that people just completely ignored, I just have one question. I'm only going to bring up this one question about DRS. Why are you thinking it's working if the price has done literally nothing but go down since DRS started? That is how delusional some of these people have become. And it's honestly sad.
Naked shorts.
Again, you're saying something
naked shorting
cause a massive short squeeze, but the price has only gone down since that period of time.
But the more it goes down, the more it'll go up, because the shorts have to cover.
I believe anybody with common sense, at least common sense not blinded by virtue signaling Moass apes, would see that.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say about DRS. It's working, yet the price has done nothing but go down. Why?
Why? Because retail investors do not own the float. Even if all of them had registered their shares, there would still be shares held by institutions, funds, and institutional investors. And they will lend them out for shorting because it is a revenue stream for them. It is a revenue stream for them. So, pension funds, etc., they will be lent. There will be shares to short. And honestly, they should want that because it adds liquidity and it creates a higher quality market. And it does not make the price go down in and of, but abnormally. So
because Jimmy's not making any money, just like AMC. Supply chain issues. Ryan Cohen even wrote a letter to GameStop way back in the day in 2020, disclosing that the gaming industry would not likely see its true potential until late 2023, which we're not there yet.
How?
Again,
why? I mean,
these facts
that makes no sense, actually.
But again, if I cared about views, why would I be telling you all of this and not just going along with the Moass narrative? Because that's clearly what gets the views, and it's clearly what people want to hear. Well,
Yep.
I'm not here to tell you what you want to hear. I'm here to tell you the reality of a situation, and that's what it is. The reality is, no matter how you feel, there is no magic in stock markets. None. Zero. There's only understanding or lack thereof, and it's up to you to determine how much of each of those categories you're going to fall into. Just think critically, people. Some of this stuff is really getting out of hand, honestly. There is no magic Moass. Moass was a phrase
It's
coined
getting
on NASDAQ
it's getting out of hand. It's getting out of hand. It's getting out of hand. Okay.
back in 2013. There have been several Moasses. You got to just think critically. Stop taking people at their word online who clearly don't care about you or your time
Yeah.
or what they're telling you or the effect that something that they may tell you have on your finances or things like that. They don't care. They just want the views. They want the likes. That's why they ask you for them. Have I ever asked you for likes and subs? No. I prefer it if you unliked and unsubscribed. That would be actually what I would prefer. But yeah, just think critically, peeps.
So
And that's
so
all I have to say.
this is
Some
how
might
it
change
is
your life.
now. This is how it is now. Maybe we should go back and watch the video from May 4th real quick. It's only 3 minutes. Some
All right,
people
guys,
may
let
not
me
have
just
seen
talk
it.
real quick about AMC. Everyone is freaking out about this news that just came out. And let me tell you why you need to calm down, take a step back, and go back to the basics of buy and hold. So if you're freaking out, there's probably two likely reasons. Number one, you bought call options that expire soon, which you should not have done because no one knows when this is going to go off. All we know is that there are certain things
Moass started today.
or that have to be implemented beforehand, such as the
Uh,
DTCC rules. Number two,
he was hyping the DTCC rules. Moass, oops. Moass started today with this candle. Started today with this candle right here, which is a lower high from this other crappy candle here. I don't think so.
you don't want to wait any longer. So let me point a few things out. Number one, this could be a life-changing play,
Listen to this.
at which point I would be willing personally to wait 5 years. I mean, I didn't get into this thinking it was going to happen overnight. I mean, the forces we're going up against are immense. This is going to take time. And now, if you were expecting it to squeeze today because the shareholder meeting was today, I'm not sure where you got that information. That's not the case. No one knows when this is going to go off. All we can do is sit and wait and hope that the whales on our side are going to be doing everything they can to make these changes happen and do what they need to do and do their part as far as the price action. So if you bought calls, yes, don't do that. If you're going to buy a call, buy one that expires next year. Don't buy weekly calls thinking that it's going to squeeze week after week. You're going to be throwing money away. And let me tell you again why this is good news. You have to think like the CEO. Your shareholder meeting was today. There could be a number of reasons why you postponed it. Number one, maybe there wasn't enough retail investors who voted, which when you vote in the shareholder meeting, your shares that you own, not calls, your
Like
shares
he's
that you own,
he's
are counted towards
basically,
the float.
he's
Now what the CEO wants, he wants
supporting
retail to own the float.
he wants he wants retail to own the float. I mean, listen, like what he said back over here in this video directly contradicts. I mean, he didn't even accurately represent what he said in this video. That's how disingenuous this is.
And the only way for retail to own the float, which is a lot bigger than GameStop's float, is to buy shares. So either there's not enough shares being bought or there's not enough people voting. So this gives everyone an opportunity not only to buy shares today and have it count towards the vote and they can attend the meeting, but it also gives more people time to average down. It gives the company time
Average
to wait
down.
for rules to be passed. There's a lot going into this, so
A lot of averaging down.
to wait a few more months, and just the fact that maybe your call options are expiring doesn't make the situation any different. It just means you need to go back to the basics: buy, hold, wait.
Buy,
Just
hold,
throwing that out
wait,
there. This is
lose.
very good news. I'm very excited about this
See?
because that was one of my concerns, honestly, was that I thought with AMC, the float being so big, my worry was that not enough shares would be voted into the float. But now we have another month
Not enough shares would be voted into the
of people being
float.
able
What
to
does
buy
that even
AMC at a
mean?
much cheaper price and it get counted towards the float, more time to inform people how to
Counted
vote.
towards the
So
float.
this is great. So
That doesn't even
leave a
make
comment down
sense.
below if you still feel differently. But guys, I mean, come on, buy, hold, wait. This is gonna pay off. Hang in there.
So yeah, I mean it's just totally different than how he represented that. So here's something. So we've already done that. Um, so here, let me pull this in here. So we've talked about narcissism before, but I want to throw something at you here. The communal narcissist. So this is a subtype of grandiose narcissism, and well, this is from Psychology Today, um, from 2018. So communality, communality. Um, okay, two fundamental modalities of human existence: agency and communion. So agency referring to individual related aspects, such as self-assertion, decisiveness, and competence. So referring to ourselves. Communion refers to community related aspects such as helpfulness, cooperation, and trustworthiness, because those things bring in other people. It involves the community, a community. So, and we know what narcissism is. Um, uh, Thanks for the stream. I was thumb up number 3. Well, thank you. Catch the rest tomorrow. Have a good night. Appreciate you being here. Um, Narcissism, a personality trait characterized by inflated opinions of oneself, a sense of entitlement, exploitativeness, and limited empathy. So this can be strengthened by agency related things like by saying things like, I am exceptionally bright, competent, alluring, elegant, smart, whatever. Um, so that tends to be what we think about with narcissism. Is things about competence or intelligence, things about ourselves. So communal narcissism then, uh, communal narcissists have grandiose self-related needs, but the communal narcissists differ from agentic narcissists in how they kind of go about doing that. So um, communal narcissists, for example, might say something like, I deserve special treatment because I am extraordinarily warm-hearted, trustworthy, and helpful. Everyone feels at ease telling me all their problems. They might rate themselves high on pro-social behavior. They might say that they're trustworthy, that they are helpful, that they are providing a necessary service, uh, that they are providing support. But in reality, they're not. They're doing it for themselves. So one term that gets thrown around with this is a wolf in sheep's clothing. A wolf in sheep's clothing. Um, because I've been trying to refine what kind of characteristics in my head that I think that these guys, particularly the influencers, but not only the influencers, um, espouse. So, it's just an interesting distinction here. Um, and I couldn't really find a lot of great resources on it without going to like Google Scholar, and I don't have time to read that stuff on here. But just mentioning this, that if anybody's interested in looking into this further. Um, and in fact, it says here, a wolf in sheep's clothing. Um, you know, isolation, so solitude and community. Those are the two kind of modes of human, behavior, and we are social. So this is a flaw. It's a corruption of that aspect. And I'm not a psychologist, so I can't go any further than that. But I just thought it was interesting if anybody wants to go a little further in maybe trying to figure out something that may be going on here. Communal narcissism might be something that would be applicable. So anyway, and there's another thing here. Um, so narcissists lacking empathy. Communal narcissism is super nice to others. Do-gooders, charming, helps select people if it makes them look good. Seems to play by the rules. Acts like they play by the rules. Seeks excessive praise. Exploits people's kindness. Superficial empathy. I think a lot of people may have encountered people like this before. Um, so they gain excessive admiration by doing good for others, but not for the good of others, but for the benefits of them, the narcissists themselves. So, um, you know, I see these traits in a lot of these people. Anyway, communal narcissism. AMC started the squeeze today, in my opinion. I mean, okay, you're excited? Good, good. But I mean, first of all, I mean, these people talk about it as if it's a foregone conclusion that there will be a squeeze or another squeeze. Which that right there indicates that you're looking at this the wrong way. Because I bet you thought, I mean, of course you're going to say that you didn't. I understand. You're not going to be honest with me, but people thought that this was the squeeze. People thought that this was the squeeze. People think that anytime there are these rallies, that it's the squeeze. And I mean, this is the same thing. It's the same as this, the same as this, the same as this, the same as this. And what is this? It's short covering. It's short covering, and not just in AMC. Not just in AMC. I mean, for God's sake. I mean, this is the SPY, the S&P 500 overlaid in an orange line, and all of these areas that I'm uncircling. I mean, look at what the market did today. Has done in the last couple days. Look at what the market did here. Look at what the market did here. Look at what the market did here. It did the same thing. You have these spikes. Look at what the market did here, though. This is very critical. This is June 2nd. Look at what the market did. It did not, I repeat, it did not do the same thing. Now, doesn't mean that it couldn't in the future, but what I'm saying is this move in AMC was unique to AMC. It was specific to AMC and these other meme stocks. The rallies that we've seen this year, including the current one, are not exclusive to AMC. They are completely inexclusive. They are in an open relationship and everybody is seeing everybody else. These are short covering rallies that span the entire market. If you're going to say that AMC squeeze started today, you're saying that the entire market is squeezing, which could be the case, but that is not ultimately. It's not sustainable. This is not a sustainable move, both in the overall market and in these individual names. So, you know, I don't know any other clearer way to illustrate this. This is the same thing that we've seen in all these other impulsive rallies last year in 2022. It's the bear market rallies, short covering rallies. Um, it will come down. It's just a matter of time. I mean, it probably won't even be that long. It probably won't even be a matter of time. Um, I mean, I'm looking at the SPY. Are you paying attention? I'm looking at the SPY. The SPY is the orange line here. We're comparing it to AMC. And that's a pretty good comparison there. So, I mean, the last time you said that the squeeze was starting, which I think was honestly forget. I think it was the summer. I think it was last summer or maybe last spring. You disappeared. We didn't see you again. We didn't see you again until, recently. But the SPY going up and this impulsive rallying and this irrational rallying, it's not going to hold. I mean, there's much more of a case for that than continued upside. And if that's not something that makes sense, then you're not looking at the entire picture because back here in 2021, the SPY it actually went down on the day that AMC had its run up. It actually went down. See, SPY went. I mean, well, I guess it went up slightly. It went up by $1 or so, less than $1. So, I mean, it's just not substantiated by the facts. I mean, I mean, like I wish everybody the best, and I hope that people are able to, get their money back or minimize their losses. But I mean, looking at this realistically, I mean, well, there's also the fact that uh, the market itself actually made a higher high today, so higher highs, and AMC made lower highs. So there's that. I mean, that, it's just not substantiated by reality, unfortunately. So, I mean, we understand that Jorge, you are expecting the squeeze. We get it. Um, we got it. We understand what you believe, and that's good for you. That's fine. But don't try to convince us. Don't try to convince anybody here. It's not. We're not really interested in opinions beyond what can be substantiated with facts. And Model 3 Dude is right. This is a fake rally. They've all been fake rallies. I don't understand why people think that this is any different. I don't understand why people think that. I mean, well, Jerome Powell, he he totally blew it. Um, but I mean, contradict yourself more, would you? But the reality is, I mean, looking at something like the 10-year yield, I mean, it's just absurd. I mean, look at this. It's down to 3.37. I mean, this loosening of conditions is just, I mean, no, it's not. And then you look at stuff like the economic data, which I'm sure everybody looked at because everybody is, a macro nerd. Well, I mean, it's true. You aren't convincing anyone, but we understand your position and kindly ask that you you know, stop saying it, quite frankly. It is your opinion, but opinions can be educated and they can be, you know, they can be valid, but they can also not be valid. Okay. The data does not point to what you believe as being likely. I mean that's the reality, and that's not really an opinion. So, you know, good for you, good luck, but we get it. We understand. We understand what you think. But look, check this out. Um, Initial jobless claims is down from the previous reading by 3,000. I mean, of course, it's not that much, so it's negligible difference, but still, the consensus estimate was 200,000. So that's way below, um, way below where it was expected to be, and it's lower. So fewer people going on unemployment than last time, which in normal times is a good thing. But when you're trying to reduce demand and slow the economy down, still because inflation is still too high, and certain areas of the economy are not seeing inflation slow down, uh, you know, as backwards as it sounds, this needs to be higher. So the jobless claims average was also down from previous reading, and it was below the forecast as well. So that's the 4-week average. Continuing jobless claims was lower on the week as well, and substantially lower than the forecast. These are not pointing to Jorge. Jorge, for how many years have people been hyping the cost to borrow? Do you not understand? It's a percentage. It's a percentage. AMC is $6. Okay, cost to borrow is irrelevant, and I'm asking you again. Stop it. Stop. Stop it. Stop. These data here are not are not conducive to what the Fed is trying to do, or not only what the Fed is trying to do, uh, what the Fed's job is. The job is to provide price stability. Um, we don't have that right now. Model 3 dude says the Fed totally showed its hand on Wednesday by saying that more rate hikes the rest of the year. Fed balance sheet is still way off. It's still trillions of dollars too much. Still trillions too much. I haven't looked at the M1 lately, but let's look at it. So it's starting to come down, but I mean, look at this. It jumped. I mean, it literally jumped from less than 5 trillion. Is this the right? Yeah, it is. It is 4.7 trillion to 16.2 trillion in the matter of a few months. Right here, from April to May, essentially a month, 1 month. And what happened in the markets then? Let's look at the Qs instead. This is what happened here. All of this, all of this, of which AMC is a part. All of this. So it so this here It's just some of the most intense rallyings, some of the most intense rallies happen during bear markets. So, I mean, it makes sense to me that we just came off the lows, essentially. We came off of the lows, basically, the same level at least, and which uh, had been hit a couple times at that point. Makes sense to me that there's enough support here now. Um, well, you need to listen to the Fed even if you are Canadian. In fact, I'm American and I listen to the European Central Bank. I listen to the Bank of England because it affects us. And as much as you don't want to believe it does, all of those things affect you as well because this is a global economy. It's not just our little economy. It's all interconnected. So the price of the dollar, the monetary policy in the United States will affect the currency exchange rates, which will affect commodity prices globally. Globally. So it is important. In the Fed's comments, he stated the market was still too hot. But I don't think he was forceful enough um, on it, and particularly with the notion of rate cuts being priced in later this year. He did say that he doesn't see interest rate cuts happening this year, but he didn't address, he didn't say something like, you know, it's patently inappropriate for the market. It's patently inappropriate to price in the price cuts. I mean, that to me is obvious, but I mean, there's a history here too of weak Fed, and also, of course, Wall Street wants the Fed to slow down. Of course, Wall Street wants interest rates to go down because it's more cheaper money for them to play around with. But at this point, I mean that is a toxic notion, and it will cause inflation to go back up, and the Fed will have to come back and tighten again, even more aggressively, and the market will not like it. It doesn't affect short squeeze plays. Yes, it does. I don't know how else to say it. It does. It absolutely. The reason that you had quote unquote short squeeze plays is because of this. It's because of this. All the money that was added, and now it's coming down. So, I mean, the era of short squeeze plays like 2020 and 2021, unfortunately, it's been over. I'm not saying that there aren't things that can happen and that some stocks aren't going to go up a lot. But this is not the environment for that. Not to mention, retail investors bought in on a lot of those rallies and contributed to it. Bought call options, which, despite what a Charlie Fudstop says, does affect it. And it can really have a substantial effect. No, I don't own AMC shares. So, but you know, I don't think that he does understand the concept of easy and hard money. The market thinks they priced in the cut, thus these fake rallies. Yeah, and like it's just I it's just absurd. I'm sick of paying way too much for food personally, but I mean, here you go. Like when AMC had its day in the sun, oops. When AMC had its day in the sun, where is it? Right here. I mean, not to mention that was the 10-year yield actually went down that day, which of course it did. But I mean, the interest rate was like 1.5%. The 10-year yield was 1.5%. I mean, even with this absurd, bond rally that pushed the yields down, it's still over three, almost, pushing 3.5%. Um, I don't know why you literally said that you would stop with the hopium, but you're not. You're not stopping with it. You got to stop. Like talking about it and irrationally, and like I'm really sorry. I wish that it wasn't what it is, but you have to be realistic. You have to be realistic. Um, this is not realistic. This is not realistic. And let's throw the dollar on here too, because I mean, so you had the dollar going up today, the 10-year yield going down, and stocks massively going up. I mean, somebody's lying here. Somebody is definitely lying. I mean, look at the way these lines normally move together. So, I mean, clearly in my opinion, it's short-lived. I mean, all right. Let's just take a look at general videos, AMC videos here real quick, and then we'll wind down. So let's see. AMC locked and loaded. Tony's. Oh. Yeah, I forgot about this. Lou's got a video. Yeah, let's check this out. Oh, somehow I muted it. Whoop. Somehow I muted it again.
Real simple.
Whoop. Let's see. All right.
All right. So this video is real simple. All right. This is between me and the AMC people. All right. I get messages like, hey, who are you to come back? This is our play. You left. You can't talk about this. Look who's back. I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute. You done? It's a stock. It's a stock. It's not a religion. Okay? There's no dude on a cross hanging down there looking at you like, dog, don't hold no more. This is not a religion. I'm looking to make money. I already said where I'm going to put my money in order to climb up. But people are like, no, you didn't stay with us. Like, neither did the CEO. Like, not for nothing. Like, I don't even know what you people.
I'll look at ants trades or pant trade, as I call them, but you're not going to like what I say.
I'm like, wait a minute.
You're not going to like it.
Also make some money, go back and forth. There's nothing wrong with that. But people trying to tell me what I can or cannot do with my money, or what I can or cannot talk about, like, you've been around ape too long. Because at the end of the day, I see my opportunity for a buy-in after the merger.
I'm going to do ants trades.
On the other side,
that's it.
Turn around. I see my opportunity.
And not even the whole video, but only because we've been harping on him and because AMC is above that stupid line. So I want to hear his, "Oh, I'm just being honest with you guys,"
The
and
idea
that's
is
it.
they could dictate what I say, what I invest in, what I don't invest in, when I should sell, when I should not sell, when I should buy. Look,
Thank you. I really do
I'm gonna tell you
appreciate that,
something. I'm
though.
gonna do something completely,
I was
completely different and
wondering.
radical. Tonight, I'm gonna have a live AMC investor call in. So you guys will be able to call in and tell me
Oh,
what you feel about
there
the
you go,
investor.
Jorge.
Because at the end of the day, your ape or your AMC. I'll do it, but at the end of the day, what's the difference? I got money on the side I'm looking to put in. I see an opportunity. You probably were holding the stock. That's fine. You see an opportunity.
Well,
There's nothing wrong with that. But as far as people getting all like territorial, I'm gonna put it to you.
because I
We
think
all got
because they.
we all got fucked. Okay, so cut it out. Stop with the elitist bullshit. At the end of the day,
So now he's
let's just
admitting.
stop. Okay, they turned around and they fucked all of us. Okay, now it's time for us to make money on this. So that's what I'm looking at. So giant hugs. I'll talk to you later. Let me take care of a couple of things, and I shall be back.
Interesting. You guys better call in. All right, let's see here. God, these titles. AMC's about to cause massive liquidations. Cost to borrow fee. Never mattered before. And the minimum cost to borrow is like 8% or something. The Moass is coming. Oh, of course, the creative investor says that. So creative of you to say that. He's even shown it there. Cost to borrow minimum. It says 7.25%. Wow. This clown. Ape Squeeze has started on January 4th. We blast up prior to the vote. Got to put out that video, get 1,000 views in 4 hours. AMC stock big drop tomorrow. All right, here it is. Oh, why does it keep muting it? It's like it's giving me a message. Don't listen to this. You're gonna lose it. You're gonna lose it.
What's going on, guys? Ants Trades back with another video. Hope everyone had a good day. Today went exactly as I wanted to. Once again, pretty much exactly what I was expecting.
Wow.
Everything still looks great. I have no complaints. I am not worried. I am not concerned. Everything is looking perfect. I've been seeing a lot of questions in my comments of my videos.
Perfect.
A lot of questions I've answered multiple times in the comments of my videos.
Everything looks perfect, huh? I mean, well, yeah, you gapped up. Good. That's fantastic. You gapped up. But you have a red candle. You have price that went down throughout the day and closed lower than it opened. And I can't help but notice this volume candle here is pretty large. And in fact, it pretty much outstrips any of the recent green candles, volume candles. So you have a down, you have a day going down, price going down on increased volume. And he says that's perfect. Linda says it just came in. So is this a hate or love AMC stream? It's a neutral AMC stream. I don't hate or love AMC. I don't like people who lie and provide false information. So it is a look at what they're saying and is it true or not? Does it make sense? Stream, which I would think people would want to know, but I guess you have to be you have to love it, you have to hate it. Where is the room for the truth in there? That's what we're trying to get to. He just said it was perfect. I'm seeing a day that the price went down. I'm seeing a large as compared to other recent days, except for like 3 in recent weeks. Literally 3 days had higher volume, and one of those was a massive down day, he said this is perfect. But anyway,
Guys, a lot of the questions that you're asking, I answered in my full theory video. It's about 40 or
no,
45 minutes
we
long.
didn't go to the protest.
It's a long video, but it's a good watch, and I give a complete breakdown of my thought process for everything, for why I'm expecting AMC to squeeze, how price targets, like all of my TA is in that video.
I mean,
I speak.
this guy believes in cycle theory. Okay, all right, I'll give you one. Whatever happened here in November and December of last year, that's what you got going on here. This cycle is repeating, if you want to think of it that way. That's more likely.
I touch on ape a little bit. I talk about everything in that video. So if you have any questions,
Yeah, we watched it.
haven't already seen that video, I recommend you go back and watch
It's
it.
just 20 minutes of you being honest with us.
It'll paint a very clear picture for you, and you could kind of
Opium.
see my thought process with this whole thing. Another thing, I saw some people today a little bit concerned with price action today. I don't know why. This is a beautiful candle, guys. We're gonna get into that, but this is great. When I said in my video yesterday we're squeezing, I'm not talking about, we're going to squeeze in like a month or 2 months or in a year. When I say we're squeezing, guys, like this was the start of the squeeze today. That's what I mean. I mean, we broke out of the descending wedge.
Jesus Christ. Now I know where Jorge got that from.
Day of the squeeze.
Oh my God.
Guys. I don't know how else I could say this. We're going new highs.
You are a fucking moron. Wow.
The first day of it. So
this guy is fucking ignorant.
So, I just wanted to say that really quick. And
there's no way this guy has had anything to do with the stock market before 2020. There's no way. Zero chance. I mean, you can't get honest answers out of these people. So, whatever. He'll say, yeah, I've been trading stocks for 12 years. But nobody with any experience would say that shit. Nobody. Zero people. Wow.
Jump into the SPY. We'll start with that.
Oh, great.
And then we'll get into AMC.
Oh, he's going to talk about how we're in a bull market now. We're in the new bull market. Yeah.
So, once again, an absolutely beautiful day. Exactly what I was looking for. If you recall me mentioning yesterday, I said I could see a gap to 416 today. We gapped up to 415. Saw a wick up to 418 and then closed the day. Looks like 416.75. Overall bullish.
Did you have $1 million, but you spent it all? Or is that Trey?
You can't just be green every day. But
see, I'm hip. I got it. I know what you're talking about.
I'm bullish.
You can't. You're gonna have to go back some decades.
This thing is gonna be working its way back up to that range, in my opinion. But yeah, it looks really good. Volume, pretty much the same. I'm not gonna really speak on volume right now. I think there's some weird stuff going on. But yeah, great day.
Some weird stuff going on? Okay, whatever.
For once again, really quickly into the EMAs. Let me just get this trend line off. The 20 EMA crossed the 200 today. So that is a bullish sign. That's a bullish signal. And the 50 is now on its way. The 50 will be the next moving average to cross the 200, probably, 4 or 5 days behind. So you could expect to see a golden cross on the SPY sometime next week, which is very, very bullish. It's very good for AMC. It's very good for my thesis.
Do you have any counterpoints to what he's saying?
Very bullish.
Yeah, the chart. The chart. But nobody knows what's going to happen. But I mean, just going off of what has happened, and the fact that this rally, if you want to call it that, is in step with the overall market, squeezing, if you will. Not like that, but bear market rallies every time, all these pops. I mean, that's been pretty reliable. It's been pretty reliable. We haven't really missed any of these. So, I mean, one critical thing is, I mean, this is the June 2021 run up here. uh, it was it was it was unique to the meme stocks. It didn't happen in the overall market, but as 2022 hit and things got real, as they say, and the party was supposed to be over uh, in terms of interest rates going up, yada yada yada, financial conditions getting tighter, market going down. Uh, AMC gets a little love when the overall market has these short covering rallies, but that's all this is. And each time, I mean, each time it is, basically lower. It's basically lower. So this is overhead supply, and that's really what what's happening here. You had so many people buy in here. You had so many people, just like all this volume here, come in here in this upper range. All these people. These are all the people that still believe in the squeeze happening. The people that bought in here at this area. But people like Trey and Matt Coles, they sold up in this area. They sold up here, which is what traders would have done. If you went from $5, which was higher because it was before the ape dividend, whatever, smoke and mirrors. But on this chart, it's $5 to $45 essentially. Or let's just say $5 to $40. Uh, that's where you take profits. But if people came in at this level, there's, it has to go higher in order for you to take profits. That isn't happening. So naturally, you know, people who are interested in preserving their money capital and minimizing their losses, which is the other half of this, anytime that these rallies do happen, they're selling. So this is a supply. There's a massive supply of shares that people are holding in these upper price levels here. And anytime the price gets close to that, you know, basically you see selling. So that there's a supply of shares. Think about it this way. A, a retail store bought um, something that was a fad, some kind of toy that was a fad that was popular last year. They bought too many at inflated prices because that's when it was popular. They stocked up. They thought they were going to sell a lot. They didn't end up selling a lot. They have a lot left over. So what can they do? They can sit there and try to say, all right, well, we're still going to try to get $39.99 for this thing and still try to make our 20% margin or whatever it is. I mean, Model 3 dude could probably give us real life examples of this with his background. But and I'm just making this up on the fly, so don't, yeah. But, or they could say, all right, well, we know we're not going to get 39.90. If we put 39.90, there might be some idiots that buy it for that, but more than likely, it doesn't have the same hype attached to it. It's not current. It's a year old. It's last year's model, whatever. Let's mark it down. Slash the price. Try to get anything that you can. Even though you're going to be losing money, at least you're not going to be losing as much money. You're not going to lose 100%. Nobody wants to lose 100%. So to try to recover something, you're going to sell it for less. That is the concept of overhead supply in the stock market. People bought at too high of price levels. At some point, as this thing drags on and drags on and drags on, people are going to cut their losses. As much as people say they're not, plenty of people are. Because the people that say that they're not, I mean, that is a subset. That is a portion. We don't know how big of a portion, but it's probably a pretty small portion. So there's a lot of people, you know, clearly who are doing that. So, you know, the difference is though that what we say here is substantiated by evidence and actual concepts, knowledge. So it goes beyond meme stocks, goes beyond 2 years of trading in a period when money was basically shoved down your mouth. They shoved money in your hand, and you know, money had it was gaining no interest. So put it in the stock market. Um, and this is not it's it's never been geared towards changing people's minds. It's just there has to be there has to be other information. There has to be evidence-based information. There has to be something that goes beyond these fly-by-night channels, like somebody who literally created a channel 2, 3 weeks ago, and because he's saying the things that people want to hear, yeah, it grows like wildfire. You know, okay, I know what we're dealing with here. I've been here since June 29th of 2021. So, I'm sorry, July 29th, 2021. Um, it's just, it just blows my mind really that there are still these new grifters popping up, just repeating the same stuff, saying, making these types of statements. Oh, the squeeze started. Yeah. Did it start back here too? Did it start back here? Did it start back here? Did it start back here? What happened? Did it start there? I mean, these clowns, and they are clowns, they have zero credibility. Nothing that they have said has been correct. And I understand this guy, I can't say that about him, really, because he's only been here for a month. But I mean, it's the same stuff as what everybody who believes in a massive short squeeze at this point says. And it's just not like what blows my mind is that people could be so wrong so consistently and still think that they have something to say, that they have something to add, that they should be talking about this. They shouldn't be talking about this. At what point do you realize that you have been wrong and you are not providing a service to people? You are actually harming people. You are making people like Jorge come in here and spout that nonsense, having such a small understanding, a little tiny box that you're in, where you think that the Federal Reserve, the actions of the central bank don't affect this type of stuff. I mean, that's literally what he said. And this, by the way, this guy can't trade, has seemingly zero understanding of macroeconomics. He has not addressed anything having to do with interest rates and all this kind of stuff, economic indicators and everything that goes into this. It doesn't exist by itself. It's all connected. So we're gonna listen to a little more of this, and I got to get out of
What do we
here.
want to see? We want to see the SPY going up right now. So
We want to see the SPY going up. I'll give you that. Bears want to see the SPY going up because the higher it goes, the more it will drop, the quicker the precipitation will be to the downside. I mean there's no question. I mean that's just the reality. It's just, I mean, you want to see the SPY go up. If you're bullish and you want to see the SPY go up right now, you're wrong.
it's very good. I'll hop into the 1 hour really quick.
4 minutes.
Throw my trend back up. Take
That's
these
all he
images.
gets. And I gotta go.
Very bullish on the SPY, bullish on AMC. We're squeezing. We're in the middle of a squeeze now.
We're in the middle of a
Let's
squeeze.
jump into AMC. Some of you guys need to just relax a little bit, like have a little bit of patience, guys. Today was the first day of our squeeze. There's nothing to be complaining about. Everyone should be very happy right now. This is the first day of the squeeze right here, guys. We broke out, and this is it's a technical breakout. This is a 2-year long descending wedge that we poked through and closed above yesterday, and then today we saw a gap.
Naked shorting.
So a gap up to
again.
about
There's
630,
really no evidence for that.
around 645, and then low of the day 593, closed at 605.
If the economy goes in burns and we go into a depression, I mean, don't you think that you would be affected by that too? Like, I don't understand this line of thinking here. You want it's like the apes, they would burn down the system so that they could get rich, but that will affect their wealth. So, I mean, no, you shouldn't want to see the market burn. I mean, yeah, there needs to be a correction. But you know, I mean, and this right here is why I hate landlords. I hate the entire housing system that we have in this country because of slumlords like Linda. I mean, honestly,
5-ish, something like that. Guys, this is
greedy,
this is great for us. It's
greedy,
very bullish.
greedy.
In my opinion,
No better
we're
than
gonna
the
see
hedge
lots of trades
funds.
like this.
No better than the hedge funds that you hate.
So
In
that is
fact,
that.
worse.
I'm not even going to pull the bars pattern up.
Yeah, I do. I do hate BlackRock.
Actually,
I'm not a fan of Wall Street. I'm not a fan of any of it. But my way of fighting it, if you want to say that, it's not really a way of fight. It's not fighting, but it's trying to understand it
well, yes, I will.
instead of these clowns who think
Again,
that they
this is a
can
big
literally
the foundation basis, and what
trick
perfectly
hedge
has been for a
funds
year. So
into
at
giving
this
up
point in the bar
their
pattern, we're
wealth. I mean,
probably looking like
just doesn't make any
we're
sense.
in this candle here, and it doesn't have to be one candle. This could be multiple days. Just like this
Hedge funds didn't create a problem.
here. This
You
was,
don't know what hedge
and
funds
it doesn't
do.
have to be like 1-to-1. I know I say it's almost 1-to-1. It's just tracking it perfectly, but
The problem is
this
bigger
candle
than
could
hedge
potentially
funds.
get 2 or 3 here to get up to that point. I don't think we're going to. I'm just saying it's not gonna match perfectly.
And it's never gonna, and it's not gonna
So
change. You're not gonna
this
change
candle
it.
right here is where we are, in my opinion, and this is the movement we're gonna be expecting. So
You want to talk about houses? At least 5 million people lost their homes in 2008. They lost their homes. One day they had a place to sleep. The other day the next day they didn't have a place to sleep. That that is way more serious than a bunch of greedy, unemployed people who didn't get rich when they made a gamble. Nothing changed. Wall Street did not change when people lost their homes. Only delusional people would think that they would change. And this is not true. This is absolutely not true. Some people, sure, they got in too deep, but it wasn't just their fault. You need to look deeper than the headlines and the narrative of the mainstream media because that Tang, you know, hey, if it works for you, good. But, you know, if that's the attitude, it's not hard to see how you could get to this. Anyway, that's all I got. I can't. I have to. I have to go. Oh, there it is. There it is. Bill Clinton caused the crash. How did I know? How did I know you were a right winger? God damn, these fucking conservative fucks. Oh my God, Model 3 dude. I need to come to California. Maybe not. Maybe not. Well, anyway. Big Short. Go watch The Big Short. There's so many things anyway. Oh, fuck. Thanks, Chris. I mean, even though I said bad things about landlords, but not you. And they weren't even bad. I mean, whatever. But yeah, I guess you missed the whole Morantz thing. Go back and listen to that, I guess. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, um, maybe I'll do a stream tomorrow. We can pick up where we left off on this thing. Have a good night, guys. Stay classy, San Diego. Oh, you're retired? Okay. Well, anyway, um, uh, then your son can bear the brunt of it. Anyway, appreciate the like, Chris and Lynn, Mile 3 Dude. Thanks for being here. Tony, um, Jorge, and Linda, and Manny, and all the gang. Appreciate it. I'll see you guys. Yeah, have a good Friday. I'll see you guys tomorrow probably. Have a good one.